The night was cold, still, and dark. The vast expanse of the ocean lay under a blanket of stars, shimmering faintly in the frigid air. The silence was almost eerie, broken only by the gentle lapping of waves against the hull of a majestic ship. It was a night that seemed to hold its breath, as if anticipating the events that were about to unfold. The RMS Titanic, pride of the White Star Line, steamed towards New York. This grand vessel, the largest and most luxurious ship of its time, was a marvel of modern engineering. It was a floating palace, a symbol of human ingenuity and ambition. As it cut through the icy waters of the North Atlantic, its passengers were filled with hope and excitement, dreaming of new beginnings in a new world. Aboard her, over 2,200 souls dreamed of new beginnings. They came from all walks of life, from wealthy industrialists to humble immigrants, all united by a common hope for a brighter future. The decks were alive with laughter and conversation, as passengers enjoyed the ship's many luxuries and amenities. Little did they know, their journey would soon take a tragic turn. They placed their trust in the largest, most luxurious ship ever built, a vessel declared unsinkable. The Titanic's interiors were a testament to opulence, with grand staircases, elegant dining rooms, and lavish cabins. It was a floating city, designed to provide every comfort and convenience. The ship's builders and crew were confident in its safety, believing it to be impervious to the dangers of the sea. But the icy breath of the North Atlantic held a deadly secret. Beneath the calm surface of the water lurked a hidden menace, a massive iceberg that would soon change the course of history. The cold, dark waters were a stark contrast to the warmth and light of the ship, a reminder of the unforgiving nature of the sea. At 11:40 p.m., a lookout's cry pierced the night. "Iceberg right ahead." The warning came too late. The massive iceberg loomed out of the darkness, a silent, icy giant. The crew sprang into action, but there was little they could do to avoid the impending collision. The bridge sprang into action, but it was too late. Orders were shouted and the ship's wheel was turned hard to port, but the Titanic was too large and moving too fast to change course in time. The crew could only watch in horror as the iceberg drew closer and closer. The Titanic, too large to turn in time, grazed the iceberg's jagged edge. Steel screamed against ice. The impact was a glancing blow, but it was enough to cause catastrophic damage. The iceberg tore a series of gashes along the ship's starboard side, breaching several of its watertight compartments. Passengers, jolted from their slumber, felt a tremor run through the ship. Many were confused and frightened, unsure of what had happened. Some ventured out of their cabins to investigate, while others tried to go back to sleep, dismissing the disturbance as a minor incident. Most dismissed it as insignificant. They had faith in the ship's reputation and the assurances of the crew. After all, the Titanic was unsinkable, wasn't it? The passengers continued to chat and socialize, unaware of the true extent of the danger they were in. They had no idea that the seemingly glancing blow had ripped open the Titanic's hull. Below the waterline, the damage was severe. The iceberg had punctured several of the ship's compartments, allowing water to pour in at an alarming rate. The Titanic's fate was sealed in those first few moments after the collision. Below the waterline, 6 compartments flooded rapidly. The ship's pumps were no match for the incoming water. The crew worked frantically to contain the flooding, but it was a losing battle. The Titanic was sinking and there was nothing they could do to stop it. The unsinkable ship was fatally wounded. As the water continued to rise, the Titanic began to list to one side. Panic started to spread among the passengers and crew as the realization of their dire situation set in. The night of ice and steel had claimed its victim, and the world would never be the same. For decades, the true extent of the Titanic's damage remained a mystery, shrouded in the ocean depths. The ship, which sank on its maiden voyage in 1912, has been the subject of countless explorations and studies. Yet despite numerous dives and extensive research, the full scope of the damage inflicted by the iceberg remained elusive. The visible parts of the wreck provided only a partial picture, leaving many questions unanswered. What exactly happened on that fateful night? How did the iceberg manage to bring down what was then considered an unsinkable marvel of engineering? These questions lingered in the minds of historians, marine experts, and the general public alike. Then in 2012, a groundbreaking expedition used advanced sonar technology to create a comprehensive map of the wreck site. This was no ordinary expedition. It involved state-of-the-art equipment and a team of dedicated experts who were determined to uncover the truth. The sonar technology allowed them to see beyond the limitations of traditional diving and photography. It provided a detailed, three-dimensional view of the wreck and the surrounding ocean floor. This new perspective was crucial in understanding the full extent of the damage. The team meticulously scanned every inch of the wreck, piecing together a complete picture of the Titanic's final resting place. The results were stunning. The sonar scans revealed a long series of gashes along the Titanic's starboard side, far more extensive than previously imagined. These gashes were not just superficial scratches, they were deep, penetrating wounds that compromised the ship's structural integrity. The scans showed that the damage extended over a much larger area than the visible wreck suggested. This new information was a game-changer. It challenged the long-held belief that the Titanic had suffered a single, catastrophic gash. Instead, it pointed to multiple points of impact, each contributing to the ship's eventual sinking. These deep wounds, hidden from the view of divers, told a different story than the single, long gash hypothesized from the visible damage to the wreck. The sonar data suggested that the iceberg had caused a series of punctures along the hull, each one allowing water to flood into the ship. This new understanding of the damage pattern provided crucial insights into how the Titanic sank so quickly. It also explained why the ship broke apart as it descended into the depths. The structural damage was far more severe and widespread than anyone had previously thought. This new evidence pointed to a much larger area of impact, supporting the theory that the iceberg's blow was far more significant than initially thought. The sonar scans showed that the iceberg had not just grazed the ship, but had struck it with tremendous force, causing multiple breaches in the hull. This revelation forced experts to reevaluate their understanding of the disaster. It became clear that the Titanic's design, while advanced for its time, was not enough to withstand such a massive and multifaceted impact. The new data also shed light on the sequence of events that led to the ship's rapid sinking, providing a more detailed timeline of the disaster. The sonar images provided crucial new insights into the disaster, challenging long-held assumptions, and forcing a reevaluation of the events that led to the Titanic's demise. The detailed scans allowed experts to reconstruct the final moments of the ship with unprecedented accuracy. This new understanding not only answered many of the lingering questions, but also opened up new avenues for research. It highlighted the importance of using advanced technology to explore and understand historical events. The 2012 sonar revelation was a significant milestone in Titanic research, offering a clearer picture of one of the most infamous maritime disasters in history. Deep within the belly of the Titanic, a hidden danger burned. Unseen by the passengers enjoying the luxury above, a silent threat was lurking in the ship's coal bunkers. Coal, the lifeblood of the ship's powerful engines, was also a silent saboteur. The very substance that propelled the Titanic forward was also a ticking time bomb, waiting to unleash its destructive potential. Evidence suggests that a fire had been smoldering in one of the ship's coal bunkers for days before the collision. This fire, hidden from the view of most crew members, was a common but dangerous occurrence in steamships of that era. This fire, likely caused by spontaneous combustion, weakened the steel structure of the hull in the very area that struck the iceberg. The intense heat from the fire compromised the integrity of the steel, making it more vulnerable to damage. The intense heat from the fire, combined with the immense pressure of the ocean depths, made the steel more brittle and susceptible to catastrophic failure. The fire's heat altered the molecular structure of the steel, reducing its ability to withstand the forces it was designed to endure. While the fire alone may not have sunk the Titanic, it significantly compromised the ship's structural integrity, making it far more vulnerable to the iceberg's blow and contributing to the rapid flooding that followed. The weakened steel hull, already stressed by the fire, could not withstand the impact, leading to a catastrophic breach that allowed water to flood in at an alarming rate. This combination of factors sealed the fate of the Titanic, turning what might have been a survivable collision into one of the most infamous maritime disasters in history. In the aftermath of the tragedy, numerous eyewitness accounts emerged, painting a different picture than the official narrative, which was widely accepted. Survivors spoke of seeing strange lights near the Titanic before the collision, suggesting the presence of other ships that could have provided assistance but never did. Others recounted hearing explosions after the iceberg impact, indicating potential boiler explosions or structural failures that contradicted the official inquiry's findings and reports. These dissenting voices, often dismissed or ignored, hinted at a more complex and disturbing truth that was never fully explored. Were these just the confused recollections of traumatized survivors, or did they hold valuable clues that were overlooked or deliberately suppressed by authorities? The whispers from the deep continue to fuel speculation and demand further investigation into what really happened that fateful night.